Well, well. Um, I suppose I don't know how to um, flip it around, but oh well, whatever. I'm in my wheelchair. I'm out here. Today is the day of God. That's right. It is the day of the Lord, and so what does that mean? What does that mean? Well, it means reflection. Day of reflection. All right. So, uh, no cussing, no swearing, no none of that stuff. All right. It's a day to acknowledge your humanity. Um, I'm trying to get to this brush here. Take the dogs out on the day of the Lord to go get some running time so they could run around and get some exercise. And I, in turn, um, come out here and help them out with that. I'm out here next to the school. I believe Ironwood. Yeah, I don't know anymore, but it's some. It's some kind of high school. Um, I forget what it's called, but I'm out on the back of they're building some homes, and now I have to maneuver my way out into this area where I am needing to go so I can enter the zone. It's the construction zone. So I'm in my four-wheel drive wheelchair, as you can see, I'm getting by, so I got by on that. They try to block it off, but I get through. And so here I am. And what we got going on today is really a day of reflection, isn't it? It's a day of reflection. Boy, I tell you, it's been good, for me to stay engaged with my brain. So I watch the news and I get into politics. I I like it. It's the best entertainment on TV. That's for sure. Um, I also like it because it sort of makes you feel like you can hold the people accountable as it's going on, right? Like you get firsthand uh, play by play uh, things that are happening in your neck of the woods, your politicians you elect, your country, and so it's the best show on town. It is the best show in town. It keeps my mind fresh. I'm completely engaged. I would like to get more engaged, but it's just hard for me to. I'm not supposed to be driving, and I can't do all this stuff. I'm a hazard to society and all this stuff. So I'm in wheelchairs and all this kind of thing. So I got to go on. I should be doing, but No, I always want to be more than myself. So nothing's going to defy me, right? Like nothing defies you. So that's what like again, I said, I bring the dogs out. There's Teddy T and the Tasmanian Tamanock and Bully Bulls over there. Mm-hmm. And I'm around here getting my little four-wheel drive wheelchair working here. And they're building some homes over here, as you can see. Now I don't know how to switch this thing. It just there's supposed to be a button on to make it go the other way. I think. Um, that's private chat. That's something else. That's something else, and that's something else. Well, I don't know. Well, I guess it ain't just ain't gonna happen. Yeah. There they are, the dogs building houses around here, as you can see. And these are Pulte, I believe, or Richmond. These are Richmond out here. Richmond homes. Where I come from, it's Pulte out here. And then over my house is Meritage. So, I come out here in the back and the dog just love to run around without somebody telling me they need to be on a leash. Right? So I'm out here doing it, and they like it. They like it. So it's the day of the Lord. Yes, it is. It sure is the day of the Lord. Yes, it is the day of the Lord. Sunday. Eh, I, like I said, I like, getting myself into TV and politics because it keeps my mind ticking. I notice that if I notice with what's going on with me and my central nervous system dysfunction due to a TBI that I tend to want to not do anything. It's like a force. It is. It's like a force, right? Like it's like being lazy, like you're just not the exercising type and you got to struggle to exercise. Well, that's how it feels with me to like just do absolutely nothing. And that's not me. I was not like that. I was continuously, since I can remember, active, active, active. That's why I'm not, so I get into politics anyways. Keep my mind busy. Whew. And I get to, I get to learn. I get to learn. I get to learn about, about rules, regulations, procedures, what the limitations, all these things that politicians go through. I also, as a civilian, I get to hold them accountable, right? I get to hold them accountable. I get to put the pressure on them and, see if they crack, you know. I mean, when you work for the government, the people of the United States of America, those people are paying your tab, right? So you have to perform. You have to make the right decisions, right? Can't make wrong decisions and get away with it. Well, then that's where the accountability comes in. It's like this. Look at what's happening now, right? What's going on now is that what I've learned, what I've learned. See, I have more time to be on TV than your regular folk because I don't work. You see, I am disabled, and and so I have to spend my time doing something constructive. So listen to the news, reading the news, getting on the phone and getting news and updates and figuring out what's going on. That takes some time. It takes skill, man. I mean, you got to really have the dedication to what I learn. Uh, it's like a job for me. And in turn, I learned how to advocate for myself with that learning. Right. That's the whole point of it. So, um, what I've learned this last past week with what has uh, happened in Congress in the House was that part of a politician's job, your elected vote, your vote, all right, your power, the vote you have, which is power, goes to an elected official of your choosing. And when they get there, they, yes, they are able to make deals. All right, I'm going to say that. I'm going to repeat that because it's a big deal. So you elect an official and you say you need to get your butt over there and work for the people, right? That's the consensus. That's the normal understanding of elected officials. As you represent me, us, and I want you to work hard, right? Make the right decisions and get it done. But what you don't get is exactly the job description of those individual politicians. You don't. You don't get you don't get their job description. You don't. They don't sit there and give you their full job description of the ins and outs, what they can and can do, what's legal, what's not legal, what is um, what is appropriate, what is not appropriate. You don't get that. You don't get that, and they won't give it to you. Okay. So when you elect somebody, um, politicians get it, bull. You're chasing a rabbit. Politicians uh, take the privilege. They take the privilege of saying, "We don't have to educate you on my job description. All you have to do is vote for me, and I will do the best I can." That right there is the attitude. Okay, that's the attitude. So, and we all know that electing an official means I want play by play on what you are doing when we should really be asking what's your real job description uh, and supporting us in fighting for us. What is your actual job description? What are you allowed and not allowed to do? I want the book on it. I want the book. I want to know what you can and can do. I want to know so that way, when you say I have no options as a politician, I want to open the book and say, it says right here, this is what you can do. And then, of course, you can argue with them and they say, well, the majority rules. And you'd be like, not today. If you haven't employed this option, then you haven't reached your job description, according to my vote. So I'm going to pass that on, and then we'll see if we get the majority. You see? So that's a big deal. That's a big deal. All right. Because I learned this last weekend with the House Speaker being voted in, the Republican House Speaker being voted in, right? I learned that they can make deals, right? I mean, it's not like we didn't know already, but part of what they can do is make a deal, and that's all they can do. They don't employ any other options unless we give it to them. Somebody points it out. Okay, so they get a deal. They make a deal, and the deal doesn't, well, we can't please everybody. That's the deal. I'm not asking you to please not a single soul. I'm asking you to do your job, right? And if your job means, hey, look, there's a conflict between here and here, and just because we're, the majority's against you in the House, your colleague, doesn't mean that it's not right to express, other things, right? It's not. So I learned that they can just make a deal and get away with just making deals their entire career. They can just make deals and move on. That's why we need term limits. That's why we need term limits. Okay. Now, I already posted it and I already said, all right, and the Lord is my witness today. The Lord said, thou shalt love thy brother and sister, right? So, term limits are now the new. Well, they've been around. It's been talk for some time. So it's not as though somebody just came up with it and said, "Hey, I think the term limits are good." No, they've been on the table for some time. So right there, it's been talked for a long time. Term limits have been talked for a long time, people. Yes, they're now just coming to the table where they got to put it down and vote on it because that's what Matt Gaetz was proposing when House Speaker Kevin McCarthy was being voted on. He said, "I don't believe McCarthy's going to do that." So he was holding out to get other conservatives to back him up, and that's what I would want for Matt Gaetz if he was on my elected official. That's what I would want him to do, right? Instead, these politicians come on TV and say, "Oh, it's good that we're debating." No, it's good that I know your job description so I can make you debate. Okay? When you work for the government, you work 24/7. All right? When you get your time off, then you get your time off. Other than that, you on the floor 24/7. That's the way it is. God, we can't do that. Well, then don't get in office then. Okay? You can't commit yourself to 24/7, then don't get voted in. Okay? It takes a certain kind of person to do that. So, and I think that's where Matt Gaetz is, and Andy Biggs, and Bober, right? I think that's where they are. They're like, hey, if I have to sit here for 3 days and get it right, we're going to do it. So they have work integrity. They know what they're there for. I mean, when they say that the I represent the people that elect me, they really mean it. Everybody else was going in for the deal. Let's make a deal because, we got to have the deal. It's all about the deals, we're not all going to agree, so we got to make a deal. That was a consensus. All right, and like I said, instead of putting a conservative in the House Speaker role instead of McCarthy, we wouldn't need a deal. We wouldn't need the art of a deal like President Trump says, because President Trump's taking credit for it now. Right? He's saying if it wasn't for my phone calls, y'all wouldn't, got it straight. We need to make a deal and move on with it because in the future we can always, you know, change things. Right? We just need to get stuff started now because we know people are not going to get along and conservatives are not going to get what they want because the majority rules. Right? So the deal's the best option. Right? The deal's the best option. And so that's where everyone was, all our brothers and sisters in service, our former service, you know, and I don't agree with that. Okay. The effort that Matt Gates put in, okay, was an effort to finally and absolutely put in somebody who can be in the House Speaker role and know for sure, and I mean 110%, that it's going to go a certain way. They're not going to have any problems, the Republicans and conservatives, with understanding the role of the Speaker of the House. Instead, they got to make a deal. And if you know anything about deals, people, deals, 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 wheels, deals, wheels, deals, they don't last. Okay. Why would you want to do that if we are in charge and we can absolutely VETT, somebody in there for good, right? Who's going to get the most support possible. Not 15 votes. That's ridiculous. That's just absurd. But I'm out here. Hey, Bully Bull. I got Bully Bull out here and Tasmanian Timnut. And I'm out here doing some riding around, getting them out here, getting them some exercise on the day of the Lord. Because it's the day of reflection. That's right. You got to have the day, whether you believe in Jesus or not. It's the day of reflection. Okay. And I put it that way because the day of reflection can mean a lot of things. It can mean I don't believe in the Lord, but I need to reflect on who I am as a person in this world. That's a day of reflection, right? And that's Sunday. It could be any day, but I'm saying because people who do believe, they want to join with you in any way to celebrate the joy of reflection. That's the way I see it, right? I mean, you do it on Sunday, and you give people opportunity. You can get together with them, whether they believe in the Lord or not. That's what it's about, right? You can't do everything on your own. I know that for sure. What are you going to do? You're going to be the only person on earth, right? You're going to invent everything that has already been invented, and you don't need nobody. I think the way it works, folks. You always need people. Whether you believe in the Lord or not, you need other people. Period. Okay. And most of the time, what's the percentage of people that do believe in some sort of entity? It's pretty high. So if you are a non-believer and you too are the only person on earth, you're probably going to get somebody who believes in the Lord. It's the way it is, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. You can go off on your own and survive on your own, and then die off, and you'd be the only one, the only last living human on earth, and there won't be no more humans. So you got to get with people. Got to get with people. It's important. Right? And you can believe in whatever you want. Um, So the Lord has given me the opportunity. Yes, yes, go ahead. I'll tell you that much, boy. I mean, I believe in that like nobody's business, so right? Um, because of how I've come into my situation. Um, you know, anything other than my city, right? Anything other than me not believing something or so, it don't make any sense because of my situation. Right? I mean, I can't go into detail about my situation because it gets boring, right? It gets complete boring. But knowing what happened and how I was injured overseas, I mean, the Lord had to be there, right? Taking care of me every step of the way. I'm telling you, folks. I'm telling you, just trust me. There's no other. There's no other way. I mean, I ain't one to try to convince somebody of that. I ain't into over explaining. I just say, trying to figure out was what had happened. Um, kept I kept going back to, well, that how can that be? Like, that just there's no way, man, that someone wasn't looking after me. There was no way. Okay, it's just the way it had to be. And so whether it was a guardian angel, whatever, I got it. It was there watching. And so, I've been blessed by it. And if this is the worst that can happen to me, then so be it. I'm still alive. I struggle for a reason, and there's no other way I can. Ooh, good girl, good girl, get up there, good girl. Yeah, it's hard to no other way I can express, without inserting the fact that I had a helping hand. I'm telling you, I know, right? Yep. So whatever it is, whether it's UFOs, whether it's phenomena, you know, it's real, man. It's there. Something going on, right? It's something that uh, uh, that helps us through our way. Oh, Sunday, day of reflection, the day of the Lord. Yeah, that's right. We're out here with the dogs doing their run, bullets hiding somewhere. Bo, come here. Get out of that. She go over there and she get in the prickers. And then she tries to take them off her foot, gets in her mouth. Right. So in the service, while I was in my EIT or AIT, whatever you call it, I learned how to operate one of these things. Yeah. Because if they, you have to be certified in the service. You have to have your little paper that says you can operate it. If not, then you ain't able to operate nothing. So I was able to get a certification in operating one of these uh, excavator type machines. Yeah, and they're big. This one when I was like a 660 or something, and I learned how to operate. So if it was needed, I could just jump in. It's like folks who learn how to operate tanks. Not all of them are tank. Just that's all they do. They just get certified in it, and if they need to, operate it, they go and do it. They know how to operate it. So this is one of the machine I have. I don't know how many I have, but I got a few. Yep, few vehicles. So kind of cool, huh? Yeah. Yep. These things can destroy the world, man. Right here, they will destroy the world. Right. There's both those. Yeah. Stop crying. Hmm. Yeah, I'm still upset with that congressperson, senator, or he's congress. I don't know. Dan Crenshaw, that former Navy SEAL dude. Yep. Insinuating. Okay. Now I understand that this loudmouth fool. I can say that on the day of the Lord. This loudmouth fool um can insinuate in the same sentence that that these representatives in the 20 that were holding out for the vote to get McCarthy up as speaker, he insinuated that they were terrorists. It's like an act of terrorism. So then he immediately goes on, on the record and say, no, they took it out of context, and so we're dumb. We are the dumb ones. He's the smart one, right? I regret that. He's a loudmouth fool, is what he is. Okay, he needs to apologize to the people who are representing their states and everybody else. Arizona being one. Okay, he needs to apologize to us because if he's calling Andy Biggs and the other guy, I don't remember his name, are representatives that they resemble or somewhat, in his mind, it's somewhat of a. You can't use terrorism, people, in the same sentence that you're explaining something to somebody. You can't do it unless we are at war, and we're not at war with them no more. At least now. I mean, yeah, there's contingencies, but we're not at war. All right, so get it straight, loudmouth fool. Come on now, Dan Crenshaw. You know, you can't put terrorism in the same sentence, whether it was intentional or not. You can't do it. Okay, they ain't terrorists. If anything, you are the terrorist. Okay, if you're gonna point it out, you want to call somebody terrorist. No, you're a terrorist. You know, you're the one that has the experience, right? Who would more likely be want to be a terrorist? You. Don't tell don't tell my representative that he's a terrorist or these 20 to hell. Don't tell them. They're not terrorists. So you made a mistake, well then pay for it. Okay. Tell Arizona you're sorry. And if you don't, then the hell sorry, Lord. Then you're done. Okay, you're done. Ain't no veteran gonna respect you. You don't call my representative terrorist because then I'm a terrorist. And he's representing terrorists. And I'm representing a terrorist. That's just absolutely absurd. Ain't it? I know. Dan Crenshaw's his name. All right. Dan Crenshaw. A patch on his eye. And I said it already on Facebook and Instagram or whatever. I've already mentioned that. And I ain't going to mention it again because it's not nice to say those things. But, since you already opened your big mouth, somebody got to, say something. That's the way it is. Right. But, he thinks he's better than everybody else. So, too bad. Too damn bad. Did I say damn? Man, I'm so sorry. God bless me, Lord, for sinning. So I'm out here. I am with the dogs. They're getting more exercise, which is pretty good. Can't complain that they're not getting any exercise. They need to get exercise, people. I don't like dogs on leashes all the time. I understand it's the law. And, uh, you can't take any chances with people getting bit. But if you got a dog, I want to put it like this. Let's put it like this, right? If you have a dog, if you have dogs, you got to take care of your dogs all together, not just what the law says you should be doing, like water and food and taking them out for a walk. No, you need to emotionally take care of them. You need to, if there's a type of dog that don't need to be on leashes and you need to find a way to do that, then you need to do it. There are dogs who are really good on leashes, and there's some that not. But people complain about it. And here's the big thing: if you have a dog and you see other dogs off a leash, and then you get scared, there's something wrong with you. Yeah, I mean that makes definitely no sense at all. Just because a dog's on a leash don't mean a dog ain't gonna bite you. Usually, when a dog's on the leash, a dog want to be in more of a protective mode. So you come up to a dog, it bite you right away. A loose dog, you know, a loose dog will usually take precaution, right? If it's aggressive, yeah, they'll like should I bite you? Should I not bite you? If it's a dog behind a fence and you stick your hand in there, guess what's going to happen? Sorry to tell you. I know it makes sense, don't it? So my dog here, like this one, this is a German short hair. She like running, flushing, getting in the brush and flushing out birds and stuff. This one over here, cattle dog, like to just stay busy. But they don't over there like to run around, have a radius, right? Yeah. So they got to be off leash. Don't get scared, people, and don't start telling other people things. All right, you have a dog. What's a Come on now. Don't have a dog if you have an opinion about dogs being on leashes. Dogs is dog, right? Come on, dog. You know what I'm talking about. So, whoa, I'm out here behind the school, Ironwood, I think it is. And this is going to be Richmond Home. Richmond. I'm out here taking the dogs so they can poop and pee and fertilize the ground a little more. Um, they also like running, getting themselves runned out, so they can get the exercise. That's right. They want exercise. They're like kids. You got to run them wild. You got to run them out. Run it out of them. Run it out of them. Right? Here's another one I believe operates right there. Yep. And so, the service, what they do with them is they they call that the cab, right? And what they do is they take that thing off and they completely encase it, usually magnesium, something like that, and so that way it's thicker metal, and anything that wants to hit it like explosives will not harm as much, and bulletproof glass, and know how to use the bucket to protect your wheels and all this other stuff, right? All these things. So yeah, man, that's what it was. You get certified in it, and then once you're certified, you can walk around with all the certification, and that's what I did. So I went from doing one job to another job. Engineer to electronic warfare to this to that. But I had all the certification. I can do all sorts of things, right? So I'd be somewhere, and they'd be like, "Man, we need we need a bucket over here to protect us from going from A to B. Who knows how to? I do. I got certification." And so they throw you in there, man. And they're like, "Yeah, you sure you got cert? Yeah, I know." So liability, liability, water trucks, dump buckets, all sorts of stuff. I didn't learn how to use a scraper though. I did not learn how to use a scraper. That was one thing I didn't learn. All kinds of stuff. I even learned how to use a rock crusher, to crush rock. Yeah, that was kind of cool. I learned different kinds of dynamite, what to use, what not to use, how much, where, when, who, where, when, what. And how's that home, right? It's Richmond. Oh, these are Pulte homes. Pulte. So it's Richmond and Pulte up in here. Yeah, somebody bought this thing. Pulte home. Yeah, that's all right. Right? Hmm. So day is the Lord today. Thanks for watching. Um, I got to. I'm trying to keep myself busy. I will be doing some stuff. I want to try to. Uh, I'm trying to do something to get some folks together so I can advocate for people like myself. I haven't figured it out yet, but I want to do it to get some attention because I want to let people know that there are folk like me out there. I mean, some folk really want to do something to help veterans, right? Some folks out there, like the Strongest Man. I was just watching Strongest Man. Uh, I forget the show, but he's donating $1 million to veterans mental health. So I'd like to throw myself out there, not for the $1 million. I mean, it'd be nice, right? But I want to let them know, the ones that want to help, that there are still folk like me out there struggling, out there wanting to advocate or advocating for themselves, fighting, not giving up, not getting what they're supposed to in a rut. And so to give them more motivation to want to help, it helps me to help them. So not bad of a deal. And some veterans in their location maybe get more help than they expected. If people like myself get out there and say, hey, look, in your neck of the woods, it could be folk like me. This is where you got to go. This is what you got to do. This is how you find them, right? And that's why I got to get myself out there. Uh, so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to figure out a way to do the best possible attention for it. And, so I'm gonna try to do that. I got lots of things on my plate, but I don't ever give up on needing to do the right stuff. You know, when you're in a situation like mine, all I got to do is fight. I'm getting worse and worse and worse, and I can see problems. I see the problems happening. If I were to pass suddenly, which is uh, more than applicable in my case than other folk, right? Than normal folk, healthy folk. I'm more susceptible to stroke. I'm more susceptible to heart attacks and blood clots and all that kind of stuff. And so if something that would happen to me, it'd be confusing to figure out what exactly how other folks need to help me benefit from me fighting for what I'm fighting for. So that's why I have to do what I got to do. That's the way it is. And ain't nobody understands but me. And so I take the fight. I'll take it every time, right? And that's what I do. Uh, the federal government created a monster, and now they got to deal with me. So I'm going to do what I have to do to make them aware of me. So that's what's going on. Y'all going to get yourself stickers. Where's the other one? Oh, she took off with her. All right, folks. So that's what I got to do. Thanks for reflecting on this day of the Lord. Day of the Lord. Right. It's Sunday, day of God, day of G. I know. That'll get you excited. And got to go complete my day, clean up, do my stuff, stay busy, try to stay as healthy as I can. Take my medicine. Son, what? Take your medicine. You know what I mean? That's what I got to do, folks. If I don't take my medicine, I go, woo, boom. Yeah, and I've been pretty good at it. Hey, my A1C went down. I got diabetes, so my A1C went down 2 points. Oh, man. Yeah, good. They tell me to keep doing what I'm doing. So I want to try to get it down even more. Yeah. All right, folks. God bless you all and see you all again.